pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is our second night of department head meeting for the budget, and we're beginning with Purdue Assistant.
I sent these to y'all via email, but if you could just take one and pass it down, I've got our latest version of our success stories to come out of the extension office, which highlights.
Who are you?
I'm Megan Jasperson with
Some
Purdue
people
Extension.
they may not know.
Yes. I'm the County Extension Director in the Health and Human Sciences educator. I've come to talk to you all before, so my face should be familiar. I also have with me Rhonda Hanstein, she's our Administrative Assistant, and Sarah Demansky, she's our Ag and Natural Resources Educator. So that report, you guys don't need to do anything with it, but you can read it in your free time. It just highlights some of the awesome things that we have going on at Purdue Extension in all of our areas. And I think most of y'all know this, but there's a lot of things that we house in our office. Like I said, I'm Health and Human Sciences, so I do community education on anything related to food, family, money, and health. Sarah Demansky does our agriculture and natural resources, so she's got her hands working with farmers and working with livestock, all kinds of other things. And then our most probably forward-facing community program is our 4-H program, and that's Hannah Lasher. So that just gives you some highlights, as well as what our 2 nutrition education program employees are doing. So that's just for your reference. And as far as our budget this year, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. You all, when I submitted budgets, I submitted a budget justification document as well that explains line by line each one of our charges. I just wanted to highlight a couple things. The only increases that I asked for this year are, number one, the typical 5% for salary for our administrative assistant. And we just asked there that Rhonda would get the same increase that any other county employees get for their salary. And the other increase, which we have to provide each year, is dictated by Purdue University, and that's our contractual services agreement. This year, that is a 3% increase, and that's not anything that we as a local extension office can adjust. Like I said, that's provided by the university, and it is a contract that includes salary and fringe benefits for the 2.5 educators in our county. So like I said, that's Sarah Demansky and Hannah Lasher are full-time. I'm a part-time educator. I'm splitting my time between here and Spencer County, so that's where the half comes from. So it includes salary and fringe benefits. It covers at no cost the nutrition education program assistant and our community wellness coordinator. It also covers IT services provided by Purdue, as well as any kind of specialists. We have access to a lot of specialists at Purdue. So, for example, if there was like an outbreak of bird flu or something in the community, that might not necessarily be something that local educators have expertise on, but we can call on Purdue and they can send out an expert and provide resources for our community in that way. So that is the nuts and bolts of the contractual services. Those are the only 2 increases. And one more thing I did want to highlight is that we actually submitted a decreased amount for our mobile phones this year. So you guys were funding 2 lines for us, and we were not utilizing one of those. So we just bumped that down to 1.
What's your postage running this year?
As far as like what we've submitted, or
What's the actual amount or
where we're at as far as expenditure?
Looks like the end of June is $42.
Yeah, so our budget spent through our last update was $1,070 spent on that line item through the middle of September.
The 2,000 is pretty much going to be a needed item.
It's pretty accurate. We send out all kinds of stuff for the 4-H program. We send out a newsletter every other month, post all across the county. So we do utilize that.
travel the same.
We didn't request an increase for that. There were a few years, if you're looking back at our past budgets, that travel was a little bit underutilized due to COVID and travel restrictions and just not seeing as many clients and folks face to face. But we are back traveling, we're running all over the place, so we are utilizing that.
Where are you at on the copy machine maintenance?
Coffee machine maintenance, up to this point, we're almost at $600. So we do have quite a bit remaining there, but like I said, that covers all our copies that are anticipated for the year. So, we've got a couple more newsletters to run through this year. And Rhonda, if you've got anything to add on that line.
Yeah, with our new machine, our agreement is lower per copy than what we had in the past. So we may or may not use all of that money.
Yeah. And that was, you guys graciously funded our new copy machine last year. And we did not request any money for a line item for new equipment this year because we don't really anticipate any major needs, but.
Just kind of refresh the memory, if you release that to the university or I have to go out to the university.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another one that the university provides, all of our computers, and that includes, for all of our educators and everyone in our office.
So basically your increases are the 5% and the 3% plus the longevity.
Yes, that's correct. And that has been, the county asked us to put that longevity in this year, so those are really the only two increases on our ask for budget this year.
Any other questions of Megan? If not, thank you.
Awesome, thank you all. We appreciate your support.
Thank you.
I came and I fell off the community. And here she is.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Next, we have Minnie last week, assessor. And this is on page 7.
You ready for me?
If you're ready.
Alright. I'm on page 7.
Yes.
The only increases is the 5% increase salary on the 26.5 pay. And I added longevity and increased travel because of not using the county car out of town. Have any questions? You want me to move on to reassessment fund? Okay, that's on page 28. And the only thing on this one, of course, brought it to my attention that I need to cut 2,200 out of this. So as a suggestion, the office supplies, if you want to cut that completely to 0. And then on the travel, drop that down to 1,300, and that'll be your 2,200 out of there.
What did she recommend dropping?
I'm not sure. She just brought this to my attention, so I'm not sure why.
You're okay.
I don't know. But everything in here is the same, except for, again, travel increased on that. And the Exsoft, this should be our last payment on there, so that should go away next year's budget.
What'd you say on the office supplies you want us to do?
Pardon me?
For this one, what'd you say on the office supplies she wanted you to do?
Because you have to cut 22 out of here, because I'm assuming it's part of the levy funds, and I don't know if that's a percentage that, but I just put that to 0, and then travel to 1,300, and that'll bring that fund to balance, and then just know next year, because I only have office supply in county general, I only have $300. But I looked at the self-disclosure fund, and I have a pretty hefty cash balance in there. So maybe that'll be a place that we can do an additional next year when we need it.
What did you say was your last payment or something?
On the, see where you see software contract with that 35 our XSOF, which is our CAMA program, they gave us a 5-year payout plan. And I think this will be our final payment in that 5-year plan.
So did you got a new?
We'll still have maintenance, but that comes out of QCAP.
Okay.
This is the actual payment for the software program.
So unless you have like some updates to your software, you may have a little.
And that's all included in the maintenance that comes out of QCAP.
This last year from this. This year we paid for.
I think so, yeah. That should be the last one. Anybody have any questions on that? And we can go to page 33, which is the sales disclosure fund. And there's, I put nothing in there except for, that extra pay for the deputies. And that was in there last year, so it's the same.
Just subject to the 5%.
No, it's still the same. It's exactly the same. The only reason it went up because of that 26 and a half
Okay.
versus the 26 pay period.
It's got an extra week in there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do I have any
Any
questions?
other questions on that or any questions on that?
Straightforward.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Do y'all want me to call whoever next and let them? I think Amanda's here, but you want me to call the other ones and tell them to just come in quicker?
David Lynch, what do you think?
David Lynch and Steve Howe.
Here's a man that. I don't think that one.
Okay,
If they wanna come, that's good.
okay.
If they wanna
I'll
come.
just let them know you're
This is
moving.
how it went yesterday too.
All right. Thank you.
You ready for Amanda? Yeah, we're ready.
I looked in, I was like, oh, wow, we're running early. Alright, how's it?
All right, good. Page 3. Interviewing president, Amanda Lash. I don't know if that's who she is.
We're assuming that. You're gonna have 5% raises also.
Yeah, we, I don't know if anybody called you, we all met here so that we kind of all on the same page, on that, so. I do want to point out which, on my official records, I know I requested 200, and I relooked at that. I only need 150, so,
That was shredding.
yes. That's not a lot, but you guys is what you guys, so.
Since you're dropping it down.
Yes,
some.
because, we don't send out demand notices anymore, so that's why I can drop that down. The company, AFCS, takes care of that for us. And, the people that owes money, they're the one that's paying for that, instead of going to the cost of everyone else.
That state called, is that a meeting, state called meeting?
Yes, they call by the State Board of Accounts that you are required to go to. Actually, everyone should have that actually, because it's all, required by state call. We're required, actually, State Board of Accounts is, you have to upload that gateway showing proof that you go. So people skip on that stuff. So now we're making you upload and make sure you're going to.
All departments are supposed to do it.
That, as far as I know, I could be wrong. I know it's something they mandated this year. And it might go back next year, but
Less copy paper.
yes. So that's the one I got, I think it was in Teresa's office, that one's at mine. That's that one.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, appreciate that.
Any other questions for Amanda?
Okay,
Straightforward.
all right. Let me know if you guys do Friday, if you need
All right.
anything answered, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And we got your number.
Okay. Guys, have a good evening.
You might be going to get to see that.
Yeah. Clerk's office. She's coming in.
Quiet in here.
Rounding the people up.
They got hold of David Lynch, he's at the airport, he'll be here. And then they also got hold of Warren and Steve Howell and Rachel, and they're all heading this way.
How many of you guys get notified by David Lynch of those stones he finds up in county? Are you on it? You're a friend of his or on his page? He'll post, I like these stones, these cornerstones that were set back in the 1860s.
Right.
He found one the other day from that
Oh,
McKim.
yeah, I do see those.
Oh, I love them. I mean, it just,
His dad took great pride in
oh,
finding
it
those.
did. Harold's a great guy. It amazes me how accurate that McKim was back in 1860 with a
Didn't
compass.
have all this.
All he had was a compass and change
Then he dragged those
and
chains up.
drag up down hills and get that close.
Yeah.
I mean, and that is amazing.
Yes.
So Dave's putting those Carson-like posts and stuff by him. I think anything he asks for, man, if we can give it to him, give it to him. He's doing that for much.
He usually doesn't. I think he is. He was talking about doing something, I forget what it was, and some sort of equipment that he was going to buy or something. I guess he'll tell us probably.
Rescind court.
On Mindy, the reason why she was asked to lower that on the reassessment, that is one of the levy funds, I forgot about that, that is one of the levy funds, and it's over that much.
Okay.
So that's all, the reason why they're doing that. I wasn't thinking of it being one of the separate levy funds, but reassessment is.
He's gonna ask for 15,000 additional levy. See where he needs, just be able to do his job.
Boy, if he could, he's gonna hire somebody to help him or.
But it says. It must be somebody gonna be part-time, because he's gonna ask.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Maybe that's what he was talking about that one day. Let me say it's for projects, because some sort of project he's wanting to complete.
Yeah. Take Rachel, huh? Just go home early, she finds skills.
Or you want me to just go ahead and do it? So, I was watching at home, you guys were going super early. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Well, and that will keep you guys from having to stay here any longer than you have to.
page one. In your budget book.
And, just like everybody else, I was asking for the 5% increase for the employees, and the longevity.
Your warrants are up, right? By buying.
Yes,
checks in or-
yes, because child support is not, we're back to having to buy checks for those. Because the whole new child support system that they're working on is not going to be in effect for, they haven't even given us a date yet.
So on the new one, was that supposed to kind of do away with the checks somewhat?
Yep.
Probably.
They can post the payments in our office, and then we would send that to the state, and then the state would send out the checks.
So now
It would be
they
so nice, but
just haven't gotten it done yet.
a lot of flaws. They had 3 pilot counties, and it just did not work. They have to change a lot of things.
Everything's pretty close to the same as
Yes.
last year. So, yeah.
And I will say something I always forget every year, the clerk association dues, that number is based off 1% of my salary. So whatever you guys choose the salary, that will be 1% of that. So that could go down from that amount.
Does anyone have any other questions for Rachel?
Pretty well cut and dry, like the rest of them.
Yeah, pretty easy.
See, do you do the election?
Yes. I work with Mary Kay and Lynn for that. Now, do you want to go to that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did, that would be, if we're through with the clerk.
What page is that?
Well, so 2025 is a non-election year, so you'll see a lot more zeros this time around. Now, I have talked to the Cannleton superintendent after I'd already prepared my budget and turned it in. And he wants to hold a public question with next year during the general election. So I told him I already turned my budget in and I was gonna talk to you guys if that's something you wanna go ahead and budget for, or if you just wanna wait to the time being. And I come and ask for additional later on. I told Mr. Siba that he would come with me when I do have to ask for additional.
If that's something that you initially would pay, then he'll reimburse you, or?
Yes, yeah,
So
we
it's
pay
really
first,
not-
our county pays first and we do get reimbursed.
So it's really not a big cost to the county.
You just have to pay it out first and then I'm not for sure how to,
As long as they got money to pay it, we're saying that.
I tried to get him to put it on for this election just to save everybody money next year. But it had something to do with
Oh,
the,
yeah, you have to, if it's fine, only certain
Yep.
time you can do it.
I talked to his attorney and he
Yeah.
laid it all out, so it makes sense with what he said. And I do have those numbers. I figured it up roughly with paying poll workers, and we would do early voting, but we'd only do it for a week. It wouldn't be 28 days like it has been in the past. Poll workers just for Cannleton, a Saturday worth of voting, roughly with what we pay Microvote to come, do the programming machine, public test, the election day support, total with everything, roughly around $8,300. For one little precinct. Just Cannleton.
That cost is.
No, not yet, because I hadn't had it figured out or
I'm just
anything.
curious if he would,
I know.
Yeah, if you don't, they don't have that. Well, absolutely. You know, it hurts financially.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to turn out.
So that was all that on that, and I won't be asking for the Ann Island services for this year and next year, and possibly the next, I think it's for 3 years. So I did receive grant money for that, so that's being taken care of, so you won't see that in here also.
Yeah, they might go over you, there's nothing like-
Yes, we have to pay them the service contract of 13,000 for software agreement, whatever.
Election will be paid regardless of
Yes.
election.
Yeah, we still do. We still hold meetings and we still get together. We talked about, since it was going to be an off year for election, we talked about looking into possible vote centers, changing their precinct-based to vote centers, but I don't know.
I think that'd be awesome. I really think that would be
I agree.
the way to go.
an island isn't on here.
No, they're not on here this year and won't be for the next 2 or 3 years.
Where were they at?
We put them under voting system support.
Okay, so that's why that was quite a bit more.
Yeah, and that voting system support, that's the maintenance and service agreement for the e-poll books. That's something that's every year, whether there's an election or not also.
Any other questions on county election board budget?
Page on that.
Oh, 31?
For record perpetuation. And you're paid for your clerical, how they have their right.
Yes, I'm gonna continue to do that every year that I'm able to. Chris keeps me updated on all that. She helps me figure all that out. Yeah, because she helped, we went through and we cut out office supplies, and we cut out the records preservation, can't say that. I have yet to find a company that will come here. There's several that, are so far away, they just won't even come to Tell City to do it. Contacted one out of Evansville, twice, and he has not reached back out yet. So I just said, forget it. I'll find something down the road. Then, that was the only change, yeah. I think what we did was we just added a little extra from the office supplies from here, just to the normal in the clerk's, area there is what we did.
Any other questions on that?
Good job.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
David Bell.
Thank you. You want me to send him? Oh, yeah, they're both out there. You want David?
Yeah, I see
Oh,
David.
okay.
Sir. David has a hefty balance in his.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Dave.
Good morning. Sorry I was late. I was at the airport and I didn't know how quick this went, so I didn't get
You don't have to bring a big stick.
I didn't. This is the first time I got to meet with everybody in the council. I think I've talked to everybody privately once or twice. But as far as, I don't know what you've been shown. I guess you guys have this thing here. So basically, first of all, I want to thank you all for being on the council and everything you do. I'm conservative. I'm so thankful being county surveyor. I love the job. We're getting a lot done with with what we have as far as other counties and basically I just want to, before I talk about money, I kind of like to show you where we're at with things and I don't know how much time I got.
No,
but
good time.
a few minutes. I'll try to be done in 5-10 minutes here. But basically, what I've been doing is when I first got on county surveyor. Dad had a bunch of tie cards, actually just one sheeter and just where he thought where cornerstones were. And so I put all that in our GIS. And so that's one of the first things I did. And so when I did that, everything was digitized. And so basically since 2003, we had to put everything in 2003, everything went from basically papers to the computers. And so with that, we didn't know where all these cornerstones was. So that's when you got to get boots on the ground and get state planning coordinates. So basically through my private work, I put all my private work in and a lot of things. So we got stuff located so we know where a lot of the corners are coordinate wise. And so what I did is, so this is like, this is an example, if you guys can pass that around. Think GIS, and this is by the prison, and there's several cornerstones here. And so what I did is we actually put them accurately on the map with the coordinate. And I do that, and actually I help the auditor's office as well. Anytime like Canton, Forest Canton, I help put that in, place it into our GIS for them. Anytime they have any problems or anything, I try to put on state plan coordinates, put it in for them. And because mapping is in auditor's office, I know it's kind of hard because the ladies in the auditor's office, they got to wear a lot of hats. I'm a surveyor. This is what I do. I put it on the ground. So people, I kind of feel like it's really hard for them to do this stuff. So I help them out. And so with that, you click on the GIS, and this is available at the auditor's office too. And you click on that and it basically tells the point number and what the corner is, the stone, what it is, the recent, the dates of the surveyor, who it was. If it's me, it could have been Timberlake, feedback, Cash Wagner, or several Rosemer. So basically every corner in Perry County that was in a recorded survey. I put it on the map. Some of them was digitized, not perfectly placed, but I put them on there. With that, we have roughly 3,950 corners. And that's a lot. And so we're really blessed with corners. With that, so we got a lot of cornerstones. And then the thankful, we got a lot of cornerstones, really blessed. A lot of families don't have them. And so a lot of the money that you give, I think these Carson folks are gold. I mean, Dad started putting them in 1988, I believe. Rigid, they are. Unless a tree takes them down or something like that, they're solid. They didn't.
I see someone bush hog.
Bush hog, yeah, bush hog or a tree.
But what is it? I've seen that.
But naturally, if they're there and nobody takes them out with stones, they're staying.
They hit.
And if you do get lost, the GIS can pinpoint it, right?
Yeah, with surveys, what I'm starting to do now, and I'm kind of doing this extra, is my surveys, I got on state plan coordinates, but if someone else recently records a survey, and if it's in state plan coordinates, I go ahead and try to put it in on the GIS account. What happens is I think GIS, they got a layer called Lynch lines. And so basically that's our GIS provider. And they actually do it for Crawford too. And so if I do a survey for Crawford, I just put it in because they do it too. And it goes into their, I don't know what you call it, goes into their servers and then it pops back out to us. And so I've been doing that. That's where, and I don't place a lot of these not too many, probably placing new of these a year, maybe 30 or 40. The reason not that many is because we just got a lot of them out there and they're there and they've been staying there. I hate to keep bragging on Dad, but I'm so thankful. But what he did, place these things at the very beginning, is amazing. I was out in Anderson Township and I put on Facebook. And Dad had like these, and it's just covered Perry County with these stones he found. These were two that he never even had marked down. And I said, well, I got the old 1860 notes, and so they showed the stone being there. And so I got out with my GPS, went there, and I was praying something. And I saw all these things and multiple roses all around it. And I just thank God it's a wow. So and it was there. And then went for another one, and it was there too. And then so some of these, he never even put on his little map, but they were still there. So and it's very rare that we would have one that was on the map that's not there. And so yeah.
So how many cornerstones did you have? He keeps track how many?
I think he had about 2,700 cornerstones. 2,700 or so. That was his guesstimate, and he found him and Phil Ancient, and it's just not him, but a lot of cornerstones. And so we're really blessed with that. And
Ricky, Phil Ancient, what's called timber refi and stuff like that.
yeah. And I'm thankful, with my salary, I'm a licensed surveyor, and that's, I'm so thankful that, I consider myself a full-time county surveyor, but at the same time, I'm thankful I'm not down with an office, and stuff like that. Every survey that we have recorded in the recorder's office, so we've done that. All of the record B's, C, D, E's, and we actually have scanned, I don't know if you guys approve, we did this last couple of years, some field books. So everything, is recorded. And so that's good. That's keeps keeps things, efficient, because there's no need, I've seen the recorder's office and the surveyor's office fight back and forth all the time. There's no need for that.
Well, they sing your praises to me.
Uh,
The recorder's office sings your praises
Well,
to
thank
me.
you, thank you. And then, I don't know if you knew about it, there was about 10 years ago, there was a thing where they was thinking about removing the county surveyor's office. I don't know if you heard about that. They was, just because it's a political position, and this is kind of funny story, but it is true. Up in Indianapolis, the county surveyor was, actually, I'm pretty sure I don't like to do the rumors, but I think she was like a nun. But she got elected to be county surveyor. So you don't have to really be a surveyor. I talked to Spencer County surveyor, he's a policeman, but thankful in Perry County, we don't have, legal drains, which keeps things, we don't have to, legal drains would be a lot for the drainage, and we don't have that. So basically, what I do have an additional, I'm requesting possibly, and don't know how I'm gonna do this yet, but additional $15,000 I might want to use or spend. I've been seeing, and I've talked to some of you before, and I know that the section corn perpetuation, I think it grows about 15,000 each year. And so, I'm thinking I could do more. And so what I was planning on doing, and this is what is section corner ties. What is a section corner tie? Basically what it is, it's a one pager of these corners. And so basically this is a U.S. Forest Service one pager of a section corner tie. And I've talked to the Spencer County surveyor, I've talked to the Orange County surveyor, Crawford, I don't believe they're doing them. I've actually only talked to those two. I talked to them about April, just because I was running the year, I didn't know what to do, and I was thinking about doing more, because with GIS, there's plenty to do with what I'm doing right now. But section corner ties is a thing where, people, it's a document. Sometimes in a way, I think it's kind of like everything else. They might go away, like technology might go away, because everybody's putting their stuff on GIS website. These documents is a paper document, but I do believe that it's something I want to start to do. And so with that, basically, I'd like to generate some of these, and I want to do it in-house. And basically what that means, I want to do it on my own. I don't want to hire a county employee or anything like that. I've talked to the Spencer County surveyor, and I talked to Matt Cooper. Matt Cooper, he's the Orange County surveyor, and he is licensed. He's kind of like me. They do give him I ain't worried about my salary. They do give him a bigger salary for him being there. He has an assistant. He does have like an office. But typically, with these, and he has worked for Harrison County, and by the time you use your GPS equipment and the wear and tear and certifying everything, these average about $1,000 or more to do this. And I honestly think that's probably high. I actually talked to Spencer County as well, and that's what they do. They do. We're supposed to perpetuate so many corners a year, and that term is kind of, how do you do that? Can you do it this way? You do ties, and so Spencer County, they don't have a GIS website with the corners. They just kind of have more ties and stuff like that. And they spend $30,000 a year. I talked to him. $30,000 he gets from council each year, and that's separate from his salary, and he's got an assistant there too. And so I'm just kind of asking. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. But I just was wanting to, do I kind of started something here, but basically, to try to, these corners, I got a lot located. I really think I could do a lot of these pretty cheap with what I got already. I've got so many located. But in Perry County, we do have some that's out and about and it might cost more than $1,000 to do a corner, but I don't plan on doing anything like that. I just kind of like to get my feet wet with this a little bit. And I might come next year, so I didn't do any, and I might do it all, do a bunch. I don't know how many for that. I don't know if you guys got any questions.
So are you thinking you can do like one for $1,000? Or is it gonna cost $1,000 to do one?
To do, I think I could do them a lot cheaper. I'm hoping I could do them like, some of them might be $200 or $300 to do. I got a lot of information already. And what I'm going to be doing is to generate these reports and get, I'm not sure if I'm going to have pictures on them or not, but basically get a state plan court. I'm going to put a state plan court and certify it. So that's going to be big. Certifications, I'm thankful that I'm licensed. I can certify the coordinate and have it so the county could have it as a record. And that's why I don't really have a set price for each corner. I really don't know that. I just kind of like to come back with you, make sure say I got this many done with this, but I'd like to try to spend up to, I said 15,000 because that's roughly what that brings, and I might come and only spend 5,000. I don't know. But that's just
depends on the information that you've got available already.
Yeah, and if I'm busy doing, like I said, I do private work, and I'm thankfully county surveyor, and that's how I do this so cheap, or I don't know how to say it with my salary, because I'm working privately for people, and I got my GPS equipment set up, and I go over and shoot this stone, and put this $20 marker by it, and put it in our GIS, and there we go. And it's county ain't paying for my survey equipment, and it's not paying for my insurance, or they ain't paying for my liability insurance, anything. So
I just figure yourself a raise this year either.
No, I didn't. And the reason I do that, Keith, is I'm thankful. I don't, if it ever would come that somebody puts me in an office in here, I would have to ask for some money.
If you'd like to be tied down.
Yeah, you understand that? And that's what I'm trying to do this year too. I don't know that, I just kind of like to try it this year. I don't know, to do a little bit more, and, but that's kind of what I have. I don't know if anybody's got any more questions.
If your budget's 15,000, he only spends 10, that shouldn't be an issue, because that money stays there.
Stays in the fund.
It stays in the fund.
Yeah, they'll probably even know what direction. I think the county is getting a real bargain with your services.
Well, thank you. I just, and the reason I brought that up is I know that money's generating funds, and there's more that I could be doing, and I just think this, it might give you more accountable to do more work for the county as well,
You had quite a bit in there last year. When I looked the last time, it was like 150,000.
Yeah.
So it was a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. Thank you, Kelly. That's my thoughts. Anybody got any questions or anything? And I don't know how, I don't know the complete details of doing this, but I just would come to you about that.
I think all of that is beneficial to the taxpayer and the residents, if they have the cornerstones marked and all that information is available to them.
Yeah.
It'd be cheaper for them if they have to have a surveyor.
Yeah.
A private surveyor, so.
Yeah, and if he let me know response, I don't get any feedback from, in the county, and I try to help all the offices, and I do business verification locations for people. I don't know if you know what that is. Basically, it's like a liquor permit or something like that. So basically, you have to say that I've done the courthouse 2 or 3 times, and, you know, if they change an ownership, that I have to say that the address is in the town of Tell City, and basically every place in Perry County that sells alcohol, I think I've done one maybe the last 8 years or 12 or 8 years here. And glad you wasn't
Had a position back in like the 70s.
Yeah. And I get asked from the, you know, the local surveyors around, they know, they don't ask me, every once in a while they'll ask me about certain things, but they know the procedure around it. I do get calls from, a lot of surveyors from Indianapolis a lot, whenever they do these road projects, up 37 or 64, or they do these, they're doing a lot of them now, these like new drains on these roads. They have to have surveyors to do like route surveys. And so they reach out to me for where the section corners are, and, you know, and I'll give them to my, I'll give them, but what I do is I give them a snip of our GIS, which, you know, give them a snip of that, and, just send it to them where all the section corners are. And if I got them located with the state plane coordinate, then I give them that information too. That's what I'm hoping to do on these tie cards. The ones that are located, I'll have a good state plane coordinate for them. And so that's the really important thing with them, because, you know, if we ever Carside Post goes, but if we get a good state plane coordinate certified, if we have a windstorm or a crazy tsunami or something, stone or whatever loses, we can bring it back by a coordinate if we had to.
I think we're fortunate that you're continuing your father's legacy.
Thank you.
And have your expertise on this. I think that's, and you're more than willing to do that, you know, and that's something.
I don't have Dad's nose at all. So
It's in your blood,
a little bit maybe, but he, yeah.
Do you have an estimate of how many stones are not marked? You know, that you're not aware of?
Well, the crazy part about this, David, is the section corner ties that we only supposed to like to do 5% a year. And that's roughly, that number is, that is roughly, I did the numbers here earlier. The numbers is about, well, the Spencer County does 30. The way they do it, if you do the 5% of but 5%.
That's all right, you don't have it.
Yeah, but yeah, your question, I got it in that thing here. I'm sorry, I should have
I know where there's two that's not marked.
that. Yeah, but not marked, yeah. You just let me know, I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, and then there's places in, you know, in Troy Township that we have, there's hot spots, and there's places in the U.S. Forest Service that U.S. Forest Service on Logan Ridge, there's like, you know, I know that there's a whole section in the middle that nobody's looked in there, or at least I don't know. We don't, Dad didn't put anything in there. But yeah, true section corners, we drops to about 600 corners if you just think about the end points, you know, a mile. And so the thing with Perry County, you know, is we got, I mean, offset lines, you know, you go around, I mean, we just got tons of stones. And if you really look into, you know, how much, you know, what is 5% of, and people, they say you're supposed to, what they did in the very beginning, it was 5% of that 600. And so that's why they're doing 30 a year in Spencer, and roughly, but we got so many stones here, thankful, but at the same time, you know, they put Carside Post, I mean, everywhere. Yeah. I'll be done talking here, but if you have any more questions, I never get to talk to you guys.
that was interesting.
It's okay.
Any other questions for David? No.
I'm just glad you're utilizing the GIS too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I knew that was a handy tool a long time ago, you know, that.
I'd say you're a bargain at $10,000
Yeah,
a year.
thank you, yeah.
Some
And I
surveys
plan-
cost that, so.
I do not plan on trying to raise my salary. I know that, you know, I just don't want to keep, you know, I don't like taxes either. And, I don't know if there's anything else I need to do or just kind of walk away and say thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all we can say, get out here.
No, you can
Good
stay.
evening.
Here's what the county's gonna do, if you want to hear what the coroner's office is gonna do.
Ah,
So, yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Steve, you want to
I'm supposed to be the last anyway. I wasn't gonna come till 6:30, but I came early.
Trying to get done. Okay,
What do we do?
salary,
41? You got a picture on it for your 41? I think that's where you begin. I got motor vehicle highway restricted. That's why, but you can go however you want.
I can find that for you.
I mean, if they're all here kind of together anyway, so you can go however you want. Or as easiest for you.
Okay, you restricted, well, in the, for salaries, I put in 5%. And also include longevity, they said, that's what everybody was doing. There's some salaries in the restricted, some in the MVH, there's some need for budget. Remember, David, last year when we temporary seasonal, you guys approved that, and then when they were reading it, it got left.
Right. Did you ever change it?
No, we had a truck driver, was short on a truck driver for a while, so we just transferred that.
You had
over
money in
there
there
to cover that, but we have added that back in again.
So that was missed somehow last year.
Yeah, when they read it, final
Yeah.
reading, I think they read it, yeah, it's supposed to be too. And Perry Central has asked us to partner with them on they've got a diesel mechanic class. They've got a person that would work 1 day a week. I put in $2,900 for that. $2,800.
Where's that?
No, he would just he would come out like on Wednesdays and work 1 day a week or part of the day. We don't know for sure yet how many hours a day he'd be able to work. But it's somebody that, you know, that class they have, they let them go out to jobs and work.
You'd have to pay him?
Yeah.
Cause I know that they have, like electric department has
Yeah.
interns or whatever. And
No, I think
they got that.
we'd have to pay them something on it. We don't have to pay them what we're paying the others.
Is that on a line item?
I don't
Or
see
where's
it.
that at?
No, we've got to put it in there when we do the budget. When we did this.
Is it in this restricted separate?
It's in the NDA.
Oh.
$2,800. The NDA.
And that's for student come help?
Yeah. It would be during, when schools, when they're having school, I know there's some others that, if you wanna go to the body shop down there and work, they're used to then a day a week. They send them out on a perfect job, so 1 day a week to see.
So then like the body shop pays for it?
Yeah.
That seems strange.
I think the prosecutor's office has an intern, but they don't pay for Tell City.
You know,
I don't think so. I can check.
he's working on the engines and
they said he's really a good worker, and he's pretty hard work, and crazy and everything,
With your liability insurance, you're covering,
well, I have
he
to,
gets hurt,
yeah, I think it would, I have to double check on that, they're checking on
that
that.
might be the reason you have to pay.
Yeah, I gotta call in to find out about that for sure.
Yeah, you may be full-time one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, your job.
Okay, and restricted in, that's one change in it. And which one you got next?
Still highway, motor vehicle. MDH. I'm still looking at MDH. Oh, no, that's restricted.
Seems like if I tune this, you got 200,000. Is that just for resurfacing existing roads or?
That's, to try to help make our master community crossing next year. For that. Okay, the MVH, we removed the subscription to dues, we don't ever pay that, so that's $40 we took out. You know, we had the line item by tunes for new road equipment. We had it, 23,000 there last year, I raised that to 100,000, we're needing to try to get some trucks. Have you gonna buy a truck, so we gotta get started on one. Building garage repairs went from 500 to 1,000. We pay for all the repairs on the whole building, both sides, and it's getting higher all the time.
Is that the line, it just says building?
Yeah,
You pay all the utilities, right? EMS don't pay anything.
What is that for? Like, can you give me an example of what the building? is for?
well, like an air conditioner or like this year, our lifts, our floor lifts went out, we had to, we didn't replace it, we couldn't afford to replace it, we rebuilt the assembly unit, and it was very expensive to get. Electric, and that's crazy enough trucks.
Okay, I was just thinking like if it's a roof or something, we already have
Oh.
money set aside for something like that, for buildings, county building maintenance, so. Bigger
And
thing.
the telephone, we raised that from 3,500 to 4,000, we've got a yearly update that's required now, that we have to pay for, something new. And, utilities, we raised it from 20,000 to 25,000. Our electric bills are outrageous out there the last couple of winters.
A lot of that's to keep your trucks plugged in.
Some of it is, you know. We used to run $400 or $500 a month electric bill, now it's $800-900.
Does that have any flow?
Yes,
But that's like gas, right?
yeah, natural gas. Yeah, we hooked up, we had the LP to start with, and when they found out it'd be cheaper to go to that natural gas, we switched to that, since line was already through there.
Yeah.
That's supposed to save us like 35% or something.
That did.
Yeah, probably did too. Tires are raised from 40,000 to 45,000. They have got crazy on prices for tires. Pickup used to go around for $700-800 to get 4 new tires on. Now it's, depending on the tire, anywhere from $1,200 to $1,800 for 4 tires on pickup truck. And our tires, I know sometimes you guys ask when you're doing these things why we've got so much money left in tires. We don't buy our truck tires until usually in November, the way this legend again. So we got the best tires we can have going in winter time on them. So a lot of the tire money gets spent in November. Equipment repair, we increased that from 150 to 170,000 because everything keeps going up. That's all in that bill.
Because that's where you said that student help would go between 800. student help. We're going to highway motor vehicle.
It would, yeah, it would be under motor vehicle, yes. Next,
Where you at now?
I've got Q Bridge on top.
Okay.
There's no changes in that budget. I don't have any opinion about it.
Not much.
Used to, we could buy used guardrail and posts. Now, right now, there's none available used. You have to buy new, get it now.
I think I know where you can put some.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, there's no way around it.
Private sold for all of them bus this year.
Yeah. No problem.
That didn't work out the way they said it was going to.
Well, have you been out there? It looks dangerous.
You go up, you're in water.
I just,
I've
I don't
talked
see,
to DNR, I've talked to our attorney and DNR and federal Army Corps of Engineers, all of them. Nobody's got, if it ain't in a DNR, if it ain't in a flood zone or a flood zone buffer area, they have no jurisdiction.
Are you talking about that lake or that pond?
Yeah.
So Q Bridge didn't change.
No. Over Road and Street, on next one. It says 34 on the bottom there, that's where I was looking.
Ours is 37. I don't know why it's different there.
There's no change in that. Same. And surplus certain wheel. If they can change the second. Didn't change. I think that's all of it.
Buy 2 minutes, go up. Didn't buy 2 minutes, go up.
Yeah.
But it's not up from last year.
Well, it went up a little bit from last year, yeah.
May not use much.
Yeah.
yeah, the whole thing for gas coming down, oil.
What do you plan to buy for that $77,000 increase with the new road equipment?
I'm gonna try to find a truck.
Big
Dump truck, yeah. Single axle dump truck. And that won't buy a new one, but if we get it started maybe on that. You guys don't really, I mean, the only way we can get 3 trucks like we need is to do a lease.
Do that through the Indiana Bond Bank. I mean, we can look at that. They have great rates.
You guys didn't act like you're the ones to do this, is the cheap one that you got that last year. We may have to look at that again on these days.
At one point, you did have a lease vehicle.
Well, we bought them on the lease. We weren't
Oh.
actually leasing, we bought the paper, they were ours when the lease was up, like a 5-year thing.
Oh, I think it'd be something.
And you can
could
do
be
like
looked at.
bond bank payments too and stuff like that. We can look at some.
Yeah, absolutely. I would think it'd be something without a
Instead of
doubt.
trying
to
to
look
buy
at.
Consider anyway.
Heck, yeah. Especially if you need 3. We know we can't afford to buy 3 outright. Maybe
Last lease we had was on that, late class grader we got in this 3 or 4 years over now. Before that, we had 3 dump trucks and 3 pickup trucks. On these.
I know you had asked for a couple of salt beds, you know, with the ARP committee, and the recommendation is gonna be to purchase one of those, so that'll go to the commissioners
That'll
and
really
council.
help.
So that's what, it was around $20,000, I think, so
We had one that we don't think it would make it through the winter.
I just wanted to give you that update, we did that earlier this week, so that'll go to the commissioners and council.
Well, that'd be our recommendation, then
Yeah.
it's gotta go through.
I can't order it yet, Jim.
Huh?
I need to wait to order till it's approved.
Yeah, it'll go to the commissioners first next week, and then the council the next week.
But you should have an answer after the 19th.
Yeah.
Meeting's 19th.
We'll get those requests in.
There's a couple days for it, 17th or.
They should do it
No, right
next
away.
week, end of next week.
Yeah.
You sure have to move that up.
I see. Any other questions for Steve? No. Thank you for coming once again.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Keep looking for grants.
Yeah, I didn't look no more. I never tried, didn't I?
And you'll let us know as soon as you know about that community crossing, the second round. As soon as you hear about that community crossing second round, you'll let us know.
Yeah.
I might get an email, but
Yeah,
I like to know. I watched
expect
that.
To hear about that,
in
but now,
September, they said, yeah. I
I
think.
don't know when they'll announce it.
It'd be nice if we could get that extra, because we've been missing out all these years
Yeah.
on that, and I'm not sure Tell City and Council take advantage of that either, but they really should look at it. I'm glad Randy found out about it, so thanks for applying.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have the coroner, Warren Taylor.
I think I'm last.
Thank you. Page 6. She sent some information.
Yeah, good thing I had my phone with me. I was at Fisher till about 6:15. I've been only waiting. Yeah, we may have been gone. Okay. This is the letter that I originally sent out in July. I printed it out again because I've got some of the old salaries for coroners in southern Indiana under $20,000 or under 20,000 population. And the salaries were from 2022 and 2023. I tried to find some for this year, and only one I find out about was Spencer County. But in this letter, since I originally generated, there's a few things that's changed. And first part of it, that first paragraph says 6 months. First 8 months of this year, we've already handled 85 coroners cases already this year. Now, out of the 85 coroners cases, total, the health department's only had 121 deaths in the county this year. We've handled 85 of the 121 already this year, so it keeps going up. And down towards the bottom, and I don't want to step on any toes, but for the surveyor and the planning zone office, both their salaries for this year was over $3,500 more than what the coroner salary was, and I'm out there every day, usually on weekends too. So I'd like for you to take a look at that. And also, I had a couple of changes I talked to the auditor about, and something has came up since I originally submitted this letter. And one of the things is the equipment. I didn't put anything in for new equipment, but back in June, we had we had an electrical storm, and the computer I've got, I lost all of our case pictures from 2019 till June of this year. Anjan went in, he can't find it nowhere. So Anjan says I need a new computer. The computer I got right now is one that Anjan let me borrow last year. And it's an old one, but he says, I need a computer now. He's gave me a couple different prices, and as I said, I didn't put it in for the equipment because I wasn't aware of it at the time, but, anywhere from $400 for certified refurbished computer to $1,400 for a new one. Honestly, I'd be happy with anything, because I don't want to lose any more pictures. Just the mere fact that we have to go to court, you know, it's going to look bad. I go, well, we lost them. We can't, and our IT guy can't even find them. So I don't know. It was during an electrical storm one night. Next morning, they was all gone.
Even if you had a new computer, would that still be the case if you had electrical
See,
storm?
I thought we was on a server out there. The coroner's office is not on the server at the courthouse, at the annex. And I wasn't aware of that until Anjan told me that too, because I thought, well, they should be in the server. The coroner's office is not on the server.
I wonder why. Are all the other departments out there on the server? That's-
I think that EMA and health department is.
So you had no backup then?
Well, we need
No.
to get you
No,
on there
because I
somehow.
wasn't
then.
aware of it, so, you know, and it's, like I said, it'd be embarrassing if we'd end up having to go to court and I'd have to say, hey, you know, we don't
Have you
have,
had, new backups on your files?
well, I thought it was going to the server. No, we never have, because I thought it was all on a server until I found out that we,
Does Anjan say there's a reason why you're not on the server?
I was told by somebody out there that they didn't want the coroner's office on it. And I don't know the reason why. I guess the health department's got a lot of stuff on there that's private and,
Other stuff we need to put on.
well, yeah,
Private.
too, yeah.
I mean, there's a
So,
lot of private stuff.
Yeah, so, you know, I can't answer.
I
because
think
don't
you
know.
should be on
Just-
there.
I
You
don't-
have to have access to the health department.
Can you ask Anjan if you
I
can
can
get
ask
hooked up to that?
because, like I said, I
It's
talked
probably
to-
pretty important that
Yeah, oh, yeah, so,
you are,
and,
so that doesn't happen again.
yeah, but I don't wanna lose, I mean, we've got a lot of, well, since then, we've got a lot of photos, because every case we go on, we take photographs of, just cover our butts down the road. But then on the regular budget, I really, I did increase three areas, not including salary separate, but I did increase 3 areas. And one is the, postage is going up, and, I increased that by $25. Travel expense, I did increase that by $100 because the traveling expense, the deputies to keep their certification up, has got to go take classes each year. And everything they have as far as training is in the central part of the state. The closest this year that we was able to go to is Washington, Indiana, and I had 5 people go to Washington for a day for training, but, traveling expense is getting, it's getting expensive. And then subscription dues, I raised that, $250 because, you have to be a member of the Coroner Association to keep your certification up, and the dues are, has went up, and that $1,000 will cover that. And then the one area I did decrease was cleaning and sanitation supplies. I did take $100 off of it. That it's down to 200, but the reason I did decrease that a little bit, United Way this year gave me some money. Last year, 2022, I didn't ask United Way for any money. 20 and 21, they also gave the coroner's office some money. But this year, when they gave us $500, and I bought gloves, and I've got to order some sanitation supplies with that $500. But their comment was they didn't really feel that they should be taking care of the county office. Said the county should be taking care of the county offices, but they did give me $500. So I was tickled to death with United Way with 500, because they could have turned me down completely, so I was tickled that they gave it to me. Couple of areas that I didn't really, well, I kept the same, but it's getting more and more expensive is, board fees. Right now, we're in pretty good shape, because with the new cooler coming, we shouldn't have any more fees unless it's something that we have to freeze a body and take it down. So otherwise, we should be in good shape there. But I left it in the budget this year because I didn't know about the cooler, but hopefully they're pouring the floor for our platform maybe this weekend. So we're moving right along with that. The other thing is cadaver bags. I didn't increase it, but it's at $750. That will buy roughly 18 bags, and we go through more of that. But each year, towards the end of the year, what I got left in a lot of the categories, I move over into that account, some order bags. I had a salesman call me today and try to give me a sales pitch that he's got the best cadaver bags in the United States. And I said, well, how much are they? $100 a piece. I said, well, I'll get them for 45. So, I can't go with $100 a piece, because that's, to me, outrageous. So the cadaver bags, fuel I kept the same. Now on the additions was the equipment for the computer, and the other one was what county department heads talked about was the longevity. That was the two additions that I didn't have on the original form that I turned into the auditor. For the deputies, the salaries, I took the request. I looked at the Corners Association, Wagner, Shealy, Irwin, Shealy, and then the Association of County IAC or whatever it is. And their recommendations was from 22 and 23, and that's how I came up with the salaries for the deputies for next year, which is pretty low. Just right now, the deputies are making $2.88 an hour. With the increase, if the increase goes through, they'd be making $3.23.
How many hours a week are you saying?
The deputies are working 1,460 hours a year. Basically 120 hours a month. That's what they're on the schedule. They work more than that, because anytime we need help, actually, they will come out. All we have to do is call. They'll come out and help. And they don't get their cell phones paid for. They don't get county insurance. The only thing they're getting from the county is a paycheck. They're burning their own gas each month, and they've been several times this year that we've had to call them out because we've had 2 cases at the same time. So, and they're not getting overtime or comp time for it. They just come out because they want to help. But at
So
the
the
same
120 hours is on-call hours. That doesn't mean that they are getting called out, but they're like
they have
the
to be in
reserve.
the county.
Right.
They have to be here because
Right.
you never know. I mean, last night, middle of the night, we had 2 death calls yesterday, and one was early in the morning, one was yesterday evening. You just never know, but they have to be available. They can't go to Evansville shopping or Owensboro or Louisville, where they have to be available. So it's no different than if the sheriff's department needs extra help at night, extra deputies get called out. Well, those deputies have got a car furnished for them to get to the scene. My people are burning their own gas money and wear and tear on their vehicle to get to the scene to help us. So
See, they shouldn't be using no gas. They should be recording their the miles from point A to point B and then turn it in.
see, at one time, the county, if they used their own vehicle, the county would let them get $5 or $10 worth of gas. But I was told, when was that? 5, 6 years ago,
How would they get that? Somebody just had a card and they,
No, they just went and got it at the gas station. It's charged to the county, out of the county gas fund for the coroner's office. Well, no, not now. But, you know,
5 or 6 years ago they did that?
and there was a special account number, which each department's got a special account. And I don't have my phone with it, but Pam gave me what the account number was, but I don't remember now. Said put it on there because what it is, the county doesn't get the tax break or whatever the bid is. County has to pay the full pump price on it back then. They didn't get the whatever it was. So, but you know, it helped them some, but not that much. But the thing is, that's the reason is I increased their salary to, if they get the increase, bring them up to $3.23 an hour. And that offset, you know, some of their, say it's compensating for overtime and travel and everything else.
As far as you were trying to compensate for mileage or whatever, or you talking about a can warranty?
It's gonna be trying to keep track.
And then EMA, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to keep track of mileage, and it'd be cheaper. I mean, actually, because I think county's paying 49 cents a mile. If you run, they come out to say Siberia to help us with something, or around the Du Bois Prairie County line. $5-10 worth of gas cheaper than paying 49 cents a mile to run all the way out there and back. But that's just something I'd like to see, maybe compensate them a little bit for that. Salaries wise, I'd like for you to take a look at the forms I gave you in different counties. My salary in this county is the third lowest in the state. Our county surveyor and the building permit gentleman that they was making about $3,600 more this year than what my salary was. I do know I checked around, only one I could find out what their salary was for next year was Spencer County. Her salary next year is $17,150, and I'm at $7,000, whatever it is right now. She kind of laughed at me when she asked me what my salary was this year. I think with the number of hours that is put in out there and the extra work that the state's asking us to do more for reports, it needs to be looked at. The coroner salary needs to go up. That's all there is to it. But the rest of it, I don't really have anything else. Just
I know it's on here, this report's only through, I think, June 1st, but your autopsy, or your, autopsy fees, I know they have to be more than 5,700 by this time.
Yeah. Even through June, it
This
has
is
to
only
be.
through June 1.
Oh,
Yeah, but
well,
we've already had additional appropriations.
you already gave
so-
me additional appropriations to cover, but the last council meeting gave me the extra money for autopsies.
I think
Last week, we already had another one right after that, so.
I think what he's saying is it's only showing through June that you spent 5,700. We know that's
Oh,
not right.
that's not right, no.
Yeah, that's not right.
I know you spent since that.
Huh?
Well,
You
they
spent
was,
July, August.
they was more than that.
He
Oh,
spent
you
more,
spent
he
more
spent
than
more than
that
50,
time?
we've already done additional appropriations more than
Why you don't show
5,700.
57?
I don't know.
We've had 11 autopsies already this year.
Yeah, we've already did additionals in
When I
excess
checked
of that,
Lyle's
I
system,
think. I can check it.
their figures on some of them are not the figures that I've got. They haven't got them entered yet. And I do know Dr. Jacoby had 3 or 4 autopsies that they had not paid yet. And that's probably the reason that's what it is there, because there's 3 or 4 more autopsies after that that I turned in.
Like 10 or 11,000.
Yeah, so, like I said, we've had 11 already this year.
So Warren, the autopsies, I think you've told me this before, I just want you to tell me again. Is you only do an autopsy if they die alone or if they're suspicious.
Suspicious are in a single vehicle accident, if you can't come up with a justification why it happened, or any time, or anything that's suspicious. Now, if the family wants an autopsy, the family has to pay for the autopsy. We have not just the prosecutor, the coroner, the county health doctor. If any three of us request an autopsy, then we have to do one. But if the family wants it, it's up to the family to pay for it. Now, the family, when they have to pay for one, they pay a lot more than what we're paying, because we had one 2 years ago that I refused to do and the family wanted it. They talked to the pathologist and it cost them like $3,500 for the autopsy. And if I'd have done it, or if I'd have had the county pay for it, it'd have been at that time about $1,700. So.
I was just curious, because it says last year we spent $44,000, and it seems like a massive increase. I didn't know.
We had 23 autopsies last year.
I just didn't know if there were that many that died. You know, you said sometimes if they die alone, or if it's suspicious, and I thought that still
And
seems
we
like
have,
a
and we
large
have a
increase.
lot of deaths that, I don't know how to say, people don't check on them and they lay there for 3, 4, 5 days before anybody finds them. If they got a lot of medical history, we'll take whatever, because we always pull all medical records from the local doctors. And then we'll decide, if they don't have anything major medically wrong with them, we got to do an autopsy. Now, if they got a lot of medical issues, then we can get by saying, well, we'll talk to the doctor or the doctor's nurse, and we'll decide, what the cause of death was. But if we have no idea, we have, the state says we got to do an autopsy. And also, anybody under the age of 3 has to be done. And that's one thing that on there for x-rays and lab fees is $1,500. I've had one lab fee this year was $655. I just turned in a claim yesterday to the auditor for $450 for x-rays on a baby. Any baby under the age of 3, we have to do x-rays on also. So, 2 years ago, we didn't hardly use any money out of that fund compared to what we've had this year, because I've already got a request in for your next council meeting. Well, not this council meeting, or in October, for additional funding for x-rays and lab fees, just in case, because I have got an outstanding bill right now in the x-rays, but I don't know what it is, because the hospital contracts their x-rays be read by a doctor in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, someplace. And even though the hospital's doing the x-rays for us, they still have to send the x-rays to, and then we have to pay for that too. The hospital could make us a deal on that. So, and I don't know what the bill's gonna be for that, because it took the hospital 2 months to give me the bill for the x-rays on this last one. So, but there's a lot of unknowns within the coroner's budget, and a lot of it is labs, x-rays, body bags, autopsies. But then everything else is basically, I kept about the same, because I've got, I don't use a lot of my budget at the beginning of the year. Now, towards the end of the year now, I'm going to start moving stuff around, mainly to buy more body bags, because we're down to one box of heavy duty body bags left. There's only 600 boxes. So I know I'm going to be needing to move money around to get some more body bags before the end of the year's out. So I really don't have anything else. If you got any questions, I'll try to answer them.
A lot of explanations.
Well, I'd just like for everybody to take a look at the salaries from 2022 to 2023 for the other, the counties under 20,000 population and under 10,000 population. Crawford County coroner, I think 2 years ago was almost 4,000 more than what this one, and we're twice the size of Crawford County. Spencer County is double what this one is, and I understand population wise, there's not much difference. I understand with Hoosier National Forest, it puts us in a bind compared to what.
Well, it's assessed value. It's
Yeah.
what we bring in and versus
So-
what they bring in. So
And
They
I
have much bigger
realize that,
budget.
but at the same time, you know, I think, salaries more so, especially for my deputies, because they put a lot of time in and, it's volunteer time, basically. I mean, for what they're making, it's volunteer work. At $2.88 an hour. And if it's a case where there's an autopsy involved, usually they're out 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours out, work at the scene. Then it's another hour and a half, 2 hours doing paperwork, and then another 2, 3 hours autopsy, if it's an autopsy. So they put a lot more time in than what they're actually scheduled, so. But I'll get out here and we're done, we're still done 45 minutes ago.
I noticed in there our council is supposed to stay. But I am glad that you're not asking for a cooler for 23,000. Thanks to
It all
our,
worked out, the
thanks to our,
ARP, thanks ARP for that, and,
we've helped them.
as soon as we
It's
get
helped
it
out
in,
a lot of,
I want everybody to come and look at it, the Lehman Brothers is gonna move that other cooler that's in the autopsy room. They're gonna move that into the new room too, and they're gonna set both of the coolers, they're gonna be set side by side, which gives us a lot more room.
does your
in the
lift
autopsy.
need to be moved?
Do what?
Will your lift need to be moved then?
Lift can't be moved because, that beam's holding the ceiling up. We didn't know that until, they got in there and started looking at it. And then Randy came out and told, he looked, yeah, it is, it's holding those I-beams up in the ceiling, they can't be. But actually, with the new coolers, and the new cooler and the other one, the lift's still gonna come in handy to move the bodies off of the gurney onto the autopsy table, especially when you get 400 pounders or 375, 400 pounders. That lift is a savior trying to move a dead weight. You know, that's, so. Yes. And they usually, after they're in a cooler for a while, the condensation, the bag sticks to the table and it's hard sometimes to move them, but the lift's gonna have to stay where it's at because of that beam. We don't want the ceiling to fall in. Any other questions?
I think so.
Thank you, Warren. Thanks, appreciate it.
Thanks, Warren.
Y'all have a good night.
Good thing.
I'm gonna go home and have supper.
Motion by Keith, second by Gale, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries 5-0.
did a gruesome job.
Don't forget our meeting tomorrow at 5,
9:30.
and 9:30 to State Board of Accounts.